Hey everyone. So just wrapping up Gen Con Day 3. I'm literally running on 3 hours of sleep, or no, actually it was 2 hours sleep last night. So hopefully I can collect my thoughts together and get this wrapped up, jump in the shower, and I'm going to try to jump in bed and then get prepared for tomorrow, last day of Gen Con. And it's going to be a little emotional last day because this has probably been one of the best Gen Cons I've had in a while. And I just been having so much fun. It has been such a blast. Figured I would talk about some of the games I played today, and we would start the day with the Funko Batman. I'm not sure if you have seen this, but Funko has a line of games coming out, and one of them would be a Batman theme. And you know what I'm talking about with the Funko, like those little miniatures that they have, the little dolls that they sell, um, statuettes. Well, they're using those and they're putting them into a actual board game, and they are the absolute cutest little things. See if that shows up for you. That's just one of the pictures I took right there of it. Um, and basically, like, you take on the role of either the villains or the heroes. So in this case, in the base set, you can be Batman or Batgirl, and then the other player would take on the Joker and Harley Quinn. And there's all kinds of different scenarios you can do. What we did a capture the flag, which means you could go around the board. You can collect crystals, which give you points, but there's also flags that if you capture those, you can get even more points. But then you get points for knocking each other over, and it's a miniature skirmish game. And so what I think's really neat about what they're doing here is that Funko is a collectible brand, and a lot of people they collect those little statuettes, and I think that's a great draw to try to get those types of people in. Plus, on top of that, being as cute as they are with the miniatures and thing, it's very attractive to even a younger crowd. And then on top of that, it's just a pretty well designed game. I mean, it just clicked and it was very thematic. So kudos to the designers. I think they did a really bang up job by taking something that probably started out with, hey, why don't we use our product line that we already produce and try to make a board game out of it. And they actually made it and they did it well. I mean, that's great. You took an IP and you did it the right way. So I had a lot of fun. I actually played with the designers, one of the designers, and had a great. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Good evening. And we had a super good time, and it came down to the very last die roll, and I had a blast. That was a great way to start off Gen Con. Um, After I did that, I stopped in the Space Cowboys booth, and they had a game called Inc. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Encore, Ankhor. Encore. It's like Egyptian kind of a name. Um, so I sat and I played that one, and so I guess the best way to try to maybe describe this one. Sorry, I got cat hair. Been petting the cat. I got cat hair in my nose. I guess the best way to try to describe this one is kind of like Splendor almost. So let's zoom in here a little bit. Okay, so there's the picture I took of it, and basically you've got your hey, bite me. Okay, so you have the resource tiles there, and you collect those, and you can collect 3 on your turn, just like I don't know, Splendor, and you can hold a total of 5 resources in front of you at a time. And then basically it's like you're just acquiring the tiles and then you're placing them next to each other, and what you got to do is try to like you want to try to place same type of color tiles next to each other, or possibly the like same animal type or person type next to each other. And then once you get 13 tiles down, and you can even kind of like stack them on top of the piles and stuff too, like if you get 4 tiles together, you could like put a 5th one in the middle on top, and then it can like score all of them. Once the 13th tile is placed, that would actually trigger the end of the game, and then you just count up points. And it was a cute little game. Um, Nothing spectacular, but it did what it did, and it did it well. I could see playing it just as much as I could see playing Splendor. But with the Marvel Splendor coming out, like we talked about yesterday, I probably will only ever play that now. So it's hard to say. You know, you get these mechanisms and they work so well, and then you start seeing them carry into other games, and you know, it's interesting to see how that, you know, where does it become saturation, or is it just basically that we just keep trying different ways to draw in different people, you know? I guess you could look at it as both. I'm not sure. So after that, I ended up playing a game called Terror of London, and that's with Colossal Games. And that is a deck builder, and it's got a horror theme to it. That is HORROR theme to it. And let me pull this up for you so you can kind of see some of the artwork there. There you go. How do you like that? Doesn't that look great? I loved it. I thought the artwork was just so neat. And Terror of London right there. It really makes you think. So it's like it almost makes me feel like Lovecraft lore kinda, or what was the other thing I thought of? Um, there was another. It made me think of something else too, but just um, you know, the gist of it is it's just two-player game, and you're collecting up the monsters, and then you play them, and then you're just attacking each other, you know, a la Star Realms. But you try to like combo off of your monsters, and some monsters will combo off others. It's deck builder, you know. But I did like the theme an awful lot, and I thought it was really cool. Played that one, enjoyed that one a lot, and it was cheap too. It was only like $20, and they sold out on that. Surprise, not really, given the fact of that price, and it's a fun game, really fun. Um, After I played that one, I played Catalyst. Now, you know, I can't really remember what the name of the publisher was on this one, and I think this one's actually been out for a little while, but I'll show you a picture of it. So, Catalyst, right there. Let it zoom in. Okay, beautiful artwork, huh? And that's what drew me to it. So I don't know why, but I really struggled trying to learn this one, and it's probably because I haven't gotten much sleep. I'm gonna try to get more sleep tonight. Um, but the gist is that the catalysts are the people that come out of the deck. You pay to put them in front of you, and then eventually you can use their abilities to try to get like houses or locations, and then they go away. The people do when you use their abilities. They go in your score pile. But like whenever you get the houses and stuff, they permanently stay in effect. And so then when you do draft more people, they go into the little houses. And then whenever you use the people while they're in the houses, they get their ability plus the house ability. So it was really cool. It took me half the game to start catching on to what I was even doing. And then once it clicked, I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. The only drawback I kind of saw was that, you know, it's very dependent on what cards are available, you know, for you to be able to purchase. And that's going to kind of dictate to what you can kind of really do, which, I mean, that's how a lot of games are. And, but I felt like with this one, like with the locations, hey, how you doing? Um, I feel like with this one, it was very much like everybody was getting the locations, and every time it would come to my turn, they were already all bought up, and so it took me forever to even figure out how to work locations properly, just because it took me half the game to even get my first one, and I don't mean to make it sound like I was whining, because I would love to try to play it again. Hi, how you doing? Um, I would love to try to play it again, just to try to get another. I almost bought it even just because by the time the game ended, it clicked, and I was like, "Wow, that's fun." I wish I could remember the name of that company though, because I'd like to give them the attention that they deserve for that. But um, oh well, it was a weird name too. I remember they had a really weird company name. Um, the next one I played after that is I went over to the Gray Fox booth, and I finally was able to get in a demo of Reavers of Midgard. And oh boy, did I like that. So if you're not familiar, Champions of Midgard was the first one that came out, and then Reavers of Midgard was the next one. That's the next one coming out. And let's try to get that to focus a little bit. I don't know. Anyways, so they got the table mat that's on there. That made, I'm not really sure if they made Luda City. You know what? Let me try to look up their name real quick, and maybe I can let you know. Um, I head over to Board Game Geek, and we'll see real fast. But Reavers of Midgard, that is a great game. So if any of you backed that one, I think you're going to be very pleased with what you're going to get because it definitely changed the game up. Catalyst. There we go. Yeah, well, that was a 2018. Stop chewing on my tablet, cat. You're being bad. Ugh. He gets so excited to see me, and then I get home, and then he wants to run around and be a bad boy. You're being a bad boy. Daddy's trying to work. So, okay, Catalyst, I got it pulled up here, and it doesn't have that great of a rating. So it's, that is a weird name, man. DV Gyochi. No wonder I couldn't remember it. Okay, you see that? DV Gyochi? I don't know. I've never heard of him. The game was kind of fun, but that's a weird publisher name. Doesn't roll off the tongue very well at all. Yeah, I didn't care for it. But okay, back to Reavers of Midgard. Yeah, if you back that one, you're going to be super duper pleased because we only played a couple of rounds, and what I liked about it was that you know how in Champions it was like a worker placement game. All right, gotta do this. There you go. You stay out there. Don't run in. All right. What are you gonna do? Cats are so bad. These got minds of their own. So you know how Champions of Midgard was a worker placement game, and this one is more of a follow game. So basically, it's like one person will place their action token, and we played a 4-player game, so you only get one worker, and when you place your worker on a location, that you get like the best benefit of that location, and you trigger its best ability. But then now everybody else in turn order gets to trigger the same ability, but it's just not as good. And it was really cool. I liked that a lot. And it wasn't just that was fun. But what was also fun is that underneath your board that you get, you can take the Reavers, and the Reavers are just basically a deck of cards, and they're powerful leaders that give you abilities. And you can take them and you can, hey Julian, how you doing? And you can take them and place them under your player board, and it's like you can then start creating a tableau and under your player board and get additional benefits. And I really liked that a lot. I wanted to explore that game even more. I wish I could have played a whole game of it because I would have easily have done it. They are almost sold out. When we were finishing up our game, they only had like 3 copies left over. And, yeah, that was hard to walk away from and not have in my hand when I left because I love Champions of Midgard. And I think Reavers is going to be just as much of a hit. So, a lot of fun with that one. Last game of the night, believe it or not, I just played Vindication again, and that's from Orange Nebula. I'm not sure if you've heard about this one, but it's not in stores or anything. The only place I checked online could find it was on Amazon for $100, no, $200. It was $199. They're selling it at the convention for I think like $150 or something like that, and that gets you like the game and this expansion. And played it again tonight, and it was a lot of fun. It was a totally different game experience than my first time, though, because the first time we played it, it ended really quick. But tonight, boy, it just kept going because we couldn't actually trigger any of the end game cards to make the game, wrap up for us. So it just kept going and going. And one of the players just was able to exploit a ton of victory points by just pounding the same type of strategy over and over and over. And, and I'm sitting there and I'm just tired out of my mind. And I'm just like, I just want to go at some point in time, but I still enjoyed the experience, So if you get a chance to play Vindication from Wings Nebula, you should definitely give it a shot. It looks more complicated than what it really is. It's a pretty straightforward game, and it's quite a bit of fun. If it wasn't so damned expensive, I would have walked home with that game. But oh well, I was able to have one of my friends, TJ, he ended up picking it up, and so I guess the way I look at it is if I want to play, I call TJ up, right? Just that simple. So tomorrow, so yesterday, if you recall the last video we did, Amanda in pajamas went with me. That was her first Gen Con that she had ever went to, and she absolutely had a blast. Loved it. So much so that she wants to go again, but of course today was sold out. But they did have more tickets still available for Sunday. So she's going to go with me on Sunday. So tomorrow I'll take her back with me. And we got some other games we are excited to check out. One of them on our list is Medium from Greater Than Games. Been hearing a lot of fun stuff about that. So going to have that one we're going to try to check out. Horrified from Ravensburger. We're going to check that one out. And then the other one that I want to go look at was at the Colossal Games booth. And I don't know the name of it, but it was really cute. It was like these little butterflies, and I don't know, you're laying down tiles, and the butterflies actually like had little clothespins under them, and you would clip them to these little trees. And I just want to do that. I just want to clip a butterfly to a tree. I don't know. It's the simple things. I saw Horrified at Target today and wondered if it was any good. Well, Mark, I will let you know for sure tomorrow in my wrap-up video, because that is one that I do not want to leave the convention hall without having at least tried. So if you want to wait until then, I'll let you know, bud, if it's purchase worthy. I know a lot of people at the convention have been talking about how much fun they had with it. So sounds like it's a hit. And Ravensburg, boy, they've been really on the ball lately. They've been having some really fun ones. Jaws, this one, good stuff. All right, that pretty much wraps up today. Just tomorrow will be kind of a shorter day. Convention hall, the exhibit hall closes at 4 o'clock, which is good because I just need to get some rest tonight, go tomorrow, wrap up some stuff. I gotta start resting because I am so tired, but I'm so excited because I've been having so much fun, and I'll just talk a little bit more about that tomorrow, which is how amazing the whole community has been, with me coming back and everything, and it has been so encouraging. I cannot even begin to express you how happy I am. So thanks as usual for your support. Make sure you hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you haven't. It's real encouraging. And I'm going to probably click off here and jump in the shower, get cleaned up, and I'm going to go to bed. I am so tired. So I appreciate your support. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.